Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. And as always, the Daily Juice is presented by the good folks over at BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE150, where a $10 wager, regardless of outcome, turns into $150 in free bets. All right, we're going to recap yesterday's picks, get into today's picks. Off to a pretty nice start. Don't want to jinx it, but looking at the yesterday's card, pretty strong. First off, Milwaukee laying 1.5 on the run line. That was not a sweat, so I apologize to the gamblers out there like to sweat out the action. There was no sweat there. Brewers crushed them 19-2. Rockies lost. I was on the Rockies money line. They were just never in that game. You're kind of playing with fire, betting on some of these crappy baseball teams. But I like the situation. I'm going to be that guy. It was a good handicap. I'm not going to change anything. No, it was I totally whiffed, lost that game. What about the plus 565 parlay? The Phillies leg hit, so that was plus 115. The Guardians game, unfortunately, got rained out, so maybe we dodged a bullet there, or maybe we would have hit that plus 565. We'll never know. Most books just grade that second leg no action, but hey, Phillies got the win. They were down 3-0, came back, so nice win for the Fightins there. And then closing it out, the Seattle Storm took care of the Indiana Fever, got the cover, got a little close there at the end. Maybe I had to sweat it out a little bit, depending on what you got the number. I know it was 11.5. Closed closer to 13.5. They covered both numbers, but it got a little interesting there at the end. All right, so we got a great show for you. I got an MLB pick. I got a WNBA pick because I'm going to keep riding this WNBA chalk until it does me dirty. Then I got 2 UFC plays, including a plus 700 UFC 276 prop. You're going to want to listen to the whole show. I know it's only 12 minutes or so, but again, stay to the very end. First up, MLB bet number 1. We got the Red Sox minus 135 at the Cubs on DraftKings. All over the Sox here. Love this bounce back spot for the Red Sox. They had a nice lead against the Cubs, blew that game completely. It's just an awesome bounce back opportunity for the Sox. I love taking good teams coming off a loss. Love the situation here for the Red Sox. And, the Red Sox pitcher, Josh Winkowski, he's a pretty solid starter, 3.6 ERA, 3.38 ERA on the road. Again, small sample size there, but I don't see any drastic home road split stuff with him. He should have a good game. And really, honestly, this is all about just fading the Cubs pitcher. Like, not only fading the situation for the Cubs coming off a win, it was a Friday. They were probably, Alec Mills is going to get hammered. He's going to be more hammered than some of the guys in that outfield at Wrigley because his ERA is 9.87. I don't understand why we're only laying 135 here. I don't know what I'm missing. He's only started one game. Of course, he lost it. He's been playing, pitching in long relief a bunch and just quite honestly getting shelled. So I love the spot here. Red Sox, I think they'll bounce back minus 135. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, and you should be watching on YouTube or listen to the pod, whatever way, either way, regardless, you should be subscribing to the Betting Pros YouTube channel. And hey, while you do that, you got a chance to win an autographed Jalen Hurts jersey. All you got to do is drop a comment in the video, this video right here, and we're going to announce the winner on the Daily Juice podcast. So turn those notifications on so you never miss an episode and your chance to win. If you're not an Eagles fan, you go, hey, what am I going to do with a Jalen Hurts jersey? Good chance I may be wanting to buy that off you. And, if I keep hitting these bets, I'm going to be pretty loaded with cash. So you might get a good price from old Sean stacking the money green. Was getting a lot of questions too in the Discord. Again, I'm in Discord. Highly recommend you guys get in there as well. bettingpros.com/chat. One of the questions I get a lot is like, hey, what do you do with your units? All these picks I'm giving out, consider straight 1 unit plays unless they say otherwise. I know a lot of handicappers like to go, oh, that's 0.25 units and that's 0.75. I don't do that. I don't like to add additional math into my handicapping. And again, as a listener, I feel like, what are you trying to manage my money? I'm going to go over there and balance your checkbook. Hey, your bets are your bets. This is what I'm doing. We're having a good show here. I'm going to try and give out some winners. Hopefully they hit. However much you want to bet, where you want to bet. You guys are all adults, or at the very least, cool teenagers. You guys can decide what to do with your money. So I just go 1 unit. Maybe in a blue moon, I'll say mega whale play. Again, that's why I maybe I'm just, used to hearing these touts where it's got 90 unit play. So I just avoid that conversation altogether. Consider everything you hear a 1 unit play. 1 unit play on the WNBA. I got the Chicago Sky laying 8.5 at BetMGM. And make sure you go over to BetMGM, not only for the Juice 150 promo, but a lot of the other shops right now are hanging a 9.5. So if you can get that 8.5 for the Sky, I really like that. They're going up against the Mercury. Again, WNBA, we got to do something about these names. I mean, Mercury, I can't think of one cool thing tied to Mercury. Like, I think of Mercury in the thermometer. I think of my Uncle Danny's Mercury Sable. I understand it's a planet, but think about it right now. One cool thing about Mercury, nothing comes to mind. Chicago, though, the Sky, they're the best team in the East. 14-5, 7-2 at home. They've won 4 in a row, including going 3-1 against the spread. Number 1 in the league field goal percentage. Number 1 in free throw percentage. Number 2 in 3-point percentage. Phoenix coming in, they're 9-2 overall, aka the Mercury. 4-8 on the road. I just don't see a lot of the metrics that they're gonna compete or cover. Plus, factor in the human aspect. This is like an early Saturday tip, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. I think noon Central. Either way, for basketball players, I think that's still pretty early by their standards. So you gotta wake up relatively early. These road teams always come out flat in early afternoon games. Then they have a game on 4th of July in Los Angeles. I don't know. I just don't see the Mercury or any teams really in this kind of situation showing up. So Chicago Sky lane 8.5 at BetMGM. All right. Hey, what do you guys have the Betting Pros app, right? If you don't, you got to download it. It's in the app stores, all the app stores, Android, Android, Apple. There are other app stores. I'm sure they're there. You can, you can do a ton with it. They have a ton of consensus picks, information. I use it when I'm coming up with handicapping. Again, don't be afraid for more information. Download that Betting Pros app. Okay, now moving over to the UFC 276. Shout out to my UFC guys, very sharp. I was listening to some of their handicaps, discuss them. What are the moves for UFC 276? And again, I love watching the fights. This is a good opportunity to make some cash. And it's just an exciting Saturday night going into the big 4th of July weekend. My first play, give me Brian Bam Bam Barberena. -110 on DraftKings. He was even money earlier in the day, so I wish I was taping earlier. Could have got that +100. Either way, I still like it -110. Barberena, he's going up against Robbie Lawler, who is we see this all the time in UFC, MMA, boxing, any sort of combat sports. These guys who hang around in the ring a little too long, Robbie Lawler, I don't know if he should hang it up, but he shouldn't be fighting a young, scrappy guy like Barberena. Bam Bam, also awesome nickname. You always got to factor that into your UFC handicapping. But really, Lawler just hasn't done much. He lost 4 in a row, and then he beat Nick Diaz. So he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. And Nick Diaz, again, Stockton legend. I would never say anything negative about Nick Diaz, but Nick Diaz probably over the hill. No, I don't think that was really a quality win. I'm surprised we're getting, close to even money on this price. Give me Bam Bam all the way. He's coming in. He's younger. He's on the rise. He's won 3 out of his last 4. Love the price. -110 over on DraftKings. Closing it out with a +700 prop. Give me Jalen Turner to win by decision against his opponent, Riddell. So here's the angle on this one. Now, Riddell could end up trying to take it to the mat, which I think would be good for Turner. Again, trying to get the submission. You're wondering, why is this priced at +700? Turner traditionally doesn't win by decision if you look at his career overall. However, in his last 3 fights, not last fight, but the last 2, the other 2 out of the 3, he's won by decision. So I think there's a big length disparity as well, big reach disparity. So I think submission really could work in his favor. So yeah, give me Jalen Turner, bit of a long shot here, plus 700 to win by decision. Get that over on FanDuel. To recap, Jalen Turner wins by decision, UFC 276, plus 700. Brian Bam Bam Barberena, minus 110 to win against Robbie Lawler. And the Chicago Sky, minus 8.5. Make sure you get that on BetMGM. Use that promo code JUICE150 so they think I'm doing a great job over here. And Red Sox, minus 135. Best price I saw over on DraftKings. All right, guys. That'll do it for the show. Hey, come hang out in the Discord, bettingpros.com/chat, at Sean T. Green on Twitter, at Sean T. Green on Discord. Follow us on TikTok, at Betting Pros. Rate, review, subscribe, and don't forget to let it ride.